Hey man, let's talk about something most guys completely misunderstand. The power of silence in attraction. See, most men think they need to constantly text her, call her, and chase her to keep her interested. You worry if you don't reach out, she will forget about you or find someone else. But what if I told you the exact opposite is true? What if going quiet is actually your most powerful move? Today, we are breaking down why pulling back creates an irresistible psychological effect that makes her start panicking about losing you. And listen, this is not about playing games. This is about psychology, about how your availability directly impacts her interest. So sit tight, because by the end of this, you will understand exactly why your silence speaks louder than words. Let's get into it. Sign 1. She suddenly bombards you with messages. You ever notice how when you are constantly available, constantly texting her first, she might take hours to respond? But the moment you go quiet for a day or two, suddenly your phone is blowing up. That is not a coincidence. That is psychology. When you are always available, you become predictable, like furniture in the room. But when that furniture disappears, suddenly the room feels empty. Some guys always initiate, always double text, desperate for her response. But high-value men, they are comfortable with silence. They have a life beyond their phone. And women, they sense this difference immediately. When you are suddenly unavailable, her mind starts racing. Where is he? Who is he with? Did I say something wrong? The power dynamic completely shifts. So if you have gone quiet and suddenly seen her send multiple messages or asking random questions, that is not her losing interest. That is her revealing just how much she cares. That is her panicking. Sign 2. Her messages get increasingly personal. When a woman feels she might be losing your attention, she will start opening up more. When you are constantly available, her messages stay surface level. How is your day? Nothing that reveals vulnerability. But go quiet for a while and watch what happens. Suddenly, she is telling you about her childhood, her dreams, her insecurities. Maybe she even starts getting slightly flirtatious, testing the waters. That is because silence creates a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. She will fill that space with whatever she thinks might pull you back in. If casual conversation was not enough to keep your attention, she will go deeper. So if you have gone quiet and suddenly she is texting you about her deepest thoughts at 11 p.m., my guy, she is feeling the vacuum you have created and she is doing everything to fill it. Sign 3. She starts finding excuses to see you in person. When you are constantly hitting her up, constantly suggesting plans, she is comfortable turning you down. I'm busy this weekend. She knows you will be there waiting, but the moment you go silent, suddenly her schedule opens up. Suddenly, she is the one suggesting plans, finding any excuse to be in your presence. Hey, I am going to be in your area tomorrow. Want to grab coffee? My friend cancelled on me for that concert. You free? These are not coincidences. These are calculated moves. Some women will even manufacture emergencies. My car is making a weird noise. Could you take a look? These are proximity excuses, ways to get close to you without admitting she is missing your attention. That is the power of scarcity. That is what happens when you go quiet. She starts working for your attention instead of the other way around. Sign 4. She starts asking about other women. When you are constantly available, constantly showing interest, a woman feels secure. She does not worry about competition because she knows she has you. But the moment you pull back, that security disappears. Suddenly, her mind goes to the most logical explanation. There must be someone else. And rather than play it cool, she will start investigating. So, have you been on any dates lately? Who was that girl in your Instagram story? These questions are not casual conversation. This is her trying to gather intelligence, trying to figure out if her competition is real or imagined. Some women get even more direct. Are you talking to someone else? Why are you being so distant? These are panic questions, revealing just how much your silence has affected her. And here is the truth. She would not care who else you are talking to if she was not interested. She would not feel threatened by other women if she did not see value in you. Your silence has made her recognize that value. Sign 5. Her social media activity changes dramatically. When you go quiet, watch what happens to her social media. Suddenly she is posting more, and not just any content designed to make you notice. Maybe she starts posting more selfies, more dressed up photos. Maybe she starts engaging with your posts more, liking, commenting, watching every story within minutes of you posting it. This is not random. This is digital peacocking. This is her way of saying, hey, look what you are missing. She is putting herself on display, hoping to recapture your attention. Some women take it even further. They will post about being at places you frequent. They will share songs you mentioned liking. They might even post ambiguous updates that seem directed at you. Some people do not know what they have until it is gone. And here is the fascinating part. All of this increases the more you stay silent. The less you respond, the more she broadcasts. Because in her mind, if direct communication is not working, maybe indirect will. Sign 6. She starts bringing up the past. When a woman feels she is losing your interest, she will often resort to nostalgia as a way to reconnect. This is powerful psychology, reminding you of times when the connection was strong. Remember that time we stayed up all night talking? I was just thinking about that dinner we had. These are not just random memories. These are strategic recalls designed to trigger the same feelings in you that you had in those moments. Some women get even more direct, sending you old photos of the two of you, bringing up inside jokes. I saw this, and it reminded me of you. Messages start appearing more frequently. That is because nostalgia is a powerful emotional trigger. By bringing up shared history, she is reminding you of your connection, reminding you what you might be walking away from. So if you have gone quiet and she is suddenly reminiscing about the good old days, even if those days were just last week, she is feeling your absence. Sign 7. Her friends suddenly start reaching out. When your silence has her truly panicking, she will deploy reinforcements. Suddenly her friends are appearing in your life. Maybe they start viewing your social media stories. Maybe they coincidentally run into you. Maybe they even reach out directly. Hey, have not seen you around lately. How have you been? Make no mistake, these are not coincidences. These are reconnaissance missions. She has sent her friends to gather intelligence, to feel out where your head is at. Women operate in networks, and those networks activate when there is uncertainty. Some guys miss this completely. They think her friends are just being friendly. But women do not deploy their social circle without purpose. If her friends are suddenly in your space, she is the one who sent them there. Sign 8. She makes a big announcement or life change. When a woman feels she is losing your attention and nothing else is working, she will often resort to the nuclear option, making a dramatic life announcement or change. I am thinking of moving to a new city. I just got offered a new job. These big life announcements often appear conveniently when you have pulled back your attention. And notice the phrasing. Thinking of, considering, might be. These are not definite decisions. These are trial balloons, designed to see how you will react. Will you show concern, or will you remain silent? Some women take more visible action, dramatically changing their appearance, cutting or dyeing their hair, starting an intense new fitness regimen. These physical transformations are often direct responses to your withdrawal. When subtler methods fail to recapture your attention, she escalates to changes that cannot be ignored. She is basically saying, notice me now. Look, man, the power of going quiet is not about manipulation. It is about understanding female psychology and how scarcity creates value. When you are constantly available, constantly reaching out, you diminish your worth. But when you pull back, when you create space, she is forced to recognize what she might be losing. The key is authenticity. Do not go silent as a game. Go silent because you have a life, you have purpose, you have priorities beyond constantly seeking her approval. That authentic self-prioritization is what creates real attraction, real panic when you are not around. So pay attention to these signs, my guy. When you go quiet and she starts exhibiting these behaviors, now you know exactly what is happening. Now you understand the power you have always had but never used. And that is when everything changes.